slides and demo.
And demo from local file system.
I don't need local file systems. Okay.
You don't need local file system.
Yeah, but the slide I run in text only.
In text only, you can transfer.
It's online.
Oh, it's online. So can you present from?
Not using web browser though.
Yeah, you can use my Does anyone has a cable?
Let me ask.
Do you want to use my laptop?
Also can.
Because his stuff is in his laptop.
Right, that's a problem.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we can start in 5 minutes. 5 minutes only.
Yeah, sure.
Hello. Test. Alright. Looks like everyone is ready. I see. In Next Academy, and we were here for about a year. And then we had to move out and move around, but today we're back for a visit. So, yay. Any show of hands, anyone's first time to this meetup? Half of you, great. So yeah, welcome, and QGS aims to do it at least once a month, and we talk about anything under the sun about JavaScript. As long as there's something remotely to do with JavaScript, you can speak here. Alright, so we are also looking forward to you speaking. You can just go to the group, and there's a Google form pinned up there to sign up to speak. Alright, so let me introduce our first speaker. Pull out my.
Yeah, you can just.
Okay, yeah, he's Hussein, and he is a. I'll let him introduce himself, but anyway, I'm almost there. Okay, so Hussein is an experienced machine learning engineer and data scientist, and he'll be talking about TensorFlow.js. Okay, so take it away.
Thank you so much, John. At the back, can anyone hear me? Good. Yeah. So my name is Hussein Zulkifli. Today I will talk about TensorFlow.js. So about me, I work concurrently at 3 companies. I'm a contractor, machine learning engineer, digital engineer. This one is based at PWTC. Second is a system and software engineer for Robot Cleaner Sdn Bhd. This one is a robotic company. So I'm the one who integrates the name with the humanoid. The humanoid is about 1.5 meter. And a data scientist for Expedition Sdn Bhd. So I at Magic. So I developed social media analysis for our ex-government in Barisan Nasional for years. So you can see there's no black in my fingers, because I have a contract to go back hometown to do the general election. Ministry of Agriculture forecasting engine. Integration between models with humanoid. I do chatbot. I train computer vision. I do NLP. And then we reinforcement learning for robotic arms to pick up the objects automatically, and some open source software and data. So this is my GitHub. That's github.com/hussein005, and that one is my personal website. Okay, first time when we say about TensorFlow, who doesn't know what is a TensorFlow? I think you guys know what TensorFlow is. A source learning framework. So you just call the API, a certain API, and then you know it's going to live. So this is my first time when I saw a TensorFlow on a website. We call it Playground TensorFlow. So anyone play it before this website? Yeah. So talking about social media analysis, so some I do also is the public social media analysis. This one I train using my own purpose. For that one for the government, I develop using their own purpose. I mean we have analyst in house and we train the machine learning model at the back and then able to analyze which topics top 20. So actually this is this website actually is open website. Anyone can go there link and get the live data. You can see who's the influencer top 20, what cloud, and then the sentiment, what correlation, what topics related to Najib, and then what Najib talks about in Twitter. This one is just pure Twitter. So you will update every minute. It depends on your refresh rate. So this is some of the example I do for our ex-government. But the one is more massively. Okay. So I found it was really cool about the playground TensorFlow. Really well to deliver and explain what is artificial neural network to anyone who first time visit the website and basically what's a deep learning or neural network. So huge educational impact. So it's able to explain to students what is basically neural network. So actually it's just a math that we learned in Form 4. So it's not in Malaysian. So actually in Form 4 we learn derivative in additional math or A-level mathematics. So actually neural network is just a derivative or derivation, keep derivate our function. So now you can see the math is very cool. It's, by now the job about machine learning and data scientists is very hot. It's very, you can see, you can feel the, you can feel the fire, you can feel the hot or the peak of anyone to want to become a data scientist. So actually I try to duplicate the same thing about the playground TensorFlow. So actually we can check the here. So let's say I want to do a classification and then I just play. So this dataset, we can upload our own dataset. So you can play around, you can pause, and then you can able to choose the learning weight and then keep playing around, choose activation function, sigmoid, something like that. So this is the playground. So I try to duplicate the same thing, but I want to upload my own but with custom dataset. Yeah, I need to code the Python backend and then using post request from the data, and then the private streaming, every streaming iteration I use socket.io. So that means I need to create a private room inside socket.io. I need to send the private room based on the timestamp I send to the server, and then the socket.io will send to the certain private room. So you can check the website, but not respond the server, so it's not working. So it's like this. So you can choose normalization, number of hidden layer, batch size, and the default is a Pokemon dataset. You can see there's a water still. So this is actually how the neural network make decision when you get the dataset. This is in 2D after we reduce the dimension. So you can see there's a 16 class, fighting, fairy, athlete, bar, and so much more. But this one, I need to code the Python backend. So it's very, not one, it's very expensive because I need to have a server at least and then respond a nodes or backend. And then I feel like a feedforward neural network is very common. How about recurrent neural network? So I actually do the same thing about the, and then the recurrent neural network actually is another architecture of neural network. Also, this one I code in the Python backend. This one only specifically to train a stock market. That means you can upload any stock market and then you can play around to how much, how many future days you want to forecast. So the default is a Tesla dataset. You can see it. But it cannot well focus in 100 days, so you need to play around. Again, I don't make the server live, so So, and then I duplicate the same thing using TensorFlow.js. Later I show. Don't worry. So I was realized to respond a backend is very expensive. So specifically for recurring neural network, because recurring neural network is using loop on the same feed for neural network. So it requires live connection to listen to vocals of AI. So the data actually I can collect to the backend. So it's not private. So not everyone can spawn the server. Not everyone able to understand and control the server. Even I open source the website, the both website. Some of the universities use my website. If they want to use my website, they contact me first. Hello, sir, can you open the server? Because I want to show to my student what is a feed network or recurrent network, or what's the application of the neural network. So some like lecturers, they doesn't like what's about the back end. They just want to play and done. So they need to contact me sometime. So first, playground TensorFlow is a pure JS. So obviously no drivers or user setup. Just open the link and everything done. So like I said, not everyone know how to do the back end. I don't think everyone know SSH. Like I don't think lecturers know SSH. They just lecturers. Yeah, you know lecturers. I'm sorry, who's anyone here lecturers? So cross-platform obviously, and then we just need a modern browser, not a old browser, at least IE5 I guess, and done. Share the link and everyone can play it like a playground TensorFlow. So it's third, interactive. With browser we can do a lot of user experiences. There are buttons everywhere, slide and etc. So it's very interactive. You can see colorful, blue or yellow, and every layer of it how every layer learn about the data. So first of the prototype from the Google, we call it the deeplearn.js. So it was released on August 2017. GPU, so allow to control the engine using pure interface. That means we can click or using jQuery or just call the DOM, and then you can interact directly with the TensorFlow. So it's a new door for front end. So after deeplearn.js, deep learning able to train distributedly using purely JavaScript. So from here, developing AI getting easier and easier. It requires hybrid of front end knowledge. Basically, just you can use jQuery or just pure JavaScript. It's very easy, and just some linear algebra to understand what is neural network, and then how to calculate some metrics, metric size, and so much more related about the linear system. So a bonus if we understood Keras or TensorFlow syntax from Python, because most of the API name borrow from TensorFlow or Keras. So this is example of deeplearn.js. So real-time style transfer for images on any browser. So we can import from Python models and load into deeplearn.js. So there's a lot more text prediction, image classification. So after that, Google released TensorFlow.js built on top of deeplearn.js. So three important features from this library actually. First, we can put directly model on the browser side. And then second, we can upload the pre-trained model we train from using any language, and we freeze the model using the API, and then we can call it using JavaScript. Third, we train pre-trained model on a browser, but again, it's very expensive. This is the example of TensorFlow.js. So we can play Pac-Man control using faces. You can check on the website TensorFlow.js. Also, you can play a piano with the AI, recurrent neural network. So we want to solve the real problem, right? We doesn't want like the TensorFlow.js on the website. Try to check TensorFlow.js. Or the example inside the TensorFlow.js is just it's a toy problem. That means it's not a real problem in this world. So how to solve a real problem example? So I do some mining from Malaysia data sectors and countries, export data. So I included a small neural network that able to forecast future years and every sector percentage. So this is the website, The dataset is from Matre. Matre is a government sector that control export and import from Malaysia. So TensorFlow.js, and then I think this matrix, yeah. The dataset is not public, but this dashboard is open source. Every time I want to code the front end for data visualization, I always ask the receptors if the dataset is not open. At least the dashboard is open source, so everyone can see, everyone can know what exactly the data to the import export. So this is import export dataset. I just got the annually 2008 and 2017. So you can see there's a lot of agriculture, palm oil, agriculture product. So correlation. But the most important thing I want to show the neural network. So I want to focus. Right now the default is focus 3 years ahead. So the default 3 years. So you can see the neural network is already calculated until 2020. So I want to focus until 5 years ahead. So you can see we focus 2022. So this is what happened to the export value at 2022, become 1.2 billion based on the historical data. So for the every sector of it, you can see the palm oil is decreasing when towards to 2022 based on neural network. You can see the red is a trade, is a forecast from the neural network. So the black one is a real data set. So you can see from 2008 even 2017 for the real data set, palm oil is decreasing. That means ministry or the government pushing Malaysia going towards to technology or machine. So you can see machine is increasing, machinery equipment to Malaysia, or our government push Malaysia to do more automation, selling more automation services or something like that. So this is how we solve a real problem. Example like forecast. This is a very small data set, as very small neural network. This one is just a 2 layers of neural network. Everything is open source. You can check my GitHub. This one, this dashboard is open source. You can go to my GitHub, Sinzo/05, and then check the repositories, and then TensorFlow.js project and Matrix. So everything is open source. How to code the neural network, how to mine the data. The data is not open source, so the data is already processed. So you can choose until 20 years ahead also can, what happened. So you can see how far Malaysia can go based on the historical 7 years. So on 2037, if no circumstances is no exception, we can go up to 3.2 billion. So the value of the palm oil we export is about 0.03% only. And most of Malaysia export to the Japan. It's about, based on 2017, 700 million. I'm sorry. So this is first example how we able to do neural network to solve a real problem. I mean not a toy problem like TensorFlow.js. They just use how to play Pac-Man, how to predict football trajectory. And then second, focusing stock market. And then this one, the same thing like previously I used Python, but this time it's a pure TensorFlow.js. Fresh first, okay. So the default is a Google stock market. So I just put on default dropout rate. This is neural network setting. You need to you can play around, and then it also have a buying and selling simulation. So let's say I want to train about 10 iteration, and then train and simulate. So it's very heavy. So you can see my laptop is hang. Okay, learn. So this is the first iteration. You can see the blue one is predicted. The orange is the real Google stock. So you can see the every epoch is learning. The value in the linear system is changing. So we can say it's on learning process. Even say we can look at our distribution plot. The orange is a real distribution and the predicted is a blue distribution. The blue trying to duplicate the real distribution, the orange one. So you can see the line is getting well, the histogram is getting okay, and the line here, the timestamp also getting nice, the shape is getting nice. So it's almost done, I can say. See, you can see my laptop hanging, it's very heavy. because if your laptop doesn't have a GPU, so you will use all of your CPU, the WebGL. So it's done. So you can see there is a buy and sell direction or decision. So what happens to this buy and sell direction? You can play around with the rolling. This is signal rolling, investment rolling. So initial money you want to put for the when you want to play in the simulation. So based on my historical rolling and simulation log, so I lost about negative 49%. So that means if I follow the decision that AI, I will lose about $4,000. So you need to play around with the buying and simulation. What happen if we play the rolling about 2 days, and then the time stamp, the dropout rate is more higher, so we can play. So the dropout rate actually is very important. I mean, how much we want to, it is a probability how much the value we want to maintain the value during the learning. So later I show what happens if I put 1. I mean, there is no forget value. I mean, if towards 1, I mean there is no value will be forget during the training. It's learning, so everyone can play this. Or I'm not upload yet in my server. So in my server is the front end is not very nice. Again, it's already open source. You can go to my GitHub and go to the stock forecasting. It's everything there. Where is it? Index. So almost done. It's so you can see it's stuck when I change to another tab. It's very expensive to calculate. Yeah, it's done. So based on the 2 days of signal rolling, so what's my simulation result? So again, I lost about $4,000. So you need to play around. So at the 5, you can see the every day on the 26th of June, I buy 5 units, and then at 26th June, I sell 5 units. So my investment is a negative 0.04. It means it's not good. I sell on that time based on the AI. So you need to play around the signal rolling, and then you need to keep learn. So what happens if I put dropout rate 1? I mean there is no value forget during the training. So the line is smooth, but what happened? It cannot learn a new. It cannot focus on new days like this. You can see the June, and this is here is a predicted future days. So that what this mean? The neural network actually it memorize the pattern of the graph. It doesn't learn how the graph move from the previous years. So instead it just memorize. So when we ask it to forecast the future days, it cannot. So actually the dropout rate, a dropout actually a technique to reduce this problem, the memorization problem. The problem with the memorization, when we ask to do something new, it cannot do because it tends to memorize. It doesn't learn. So the term is we want to the term of it we call it regularization. It's a process to reduce the overfit. I think I can listen my friends. It's very you can see my browser hanging already. So I need to refresh because my laptop doesn't have a GPU, so I use all the CPU and RAM. So that's another one a real problem that you can solve using TensorFlow.js. That's a lot more. You can do time forecasting. Let's say you want to from a location to a location. You can use a very shallow neural network. It's very cheap. It's not really expensive like you go to the like Inception that they beat the human on the image classification. You don't need that much. Sometimes you just want you just want to deploy a shallow neural network like that thing is forecast. It's very simple neural network. Actually, for some non-linear forecasting, like maybe you have you are doing e-commerce, so you want to forecast what happened to the 10 days or 1 week ahead, 1 month ahead. So last time I need to code even that simple problem. I need to code the Python and then create the API. For me, it's some kind of irritating. So, but we must remember, TensorFlow.js calculate everything on top of browser. So, if we, it really depend on how OS treat the browser. Is it type of a fork? Is it, if Linux is the thread is assumed as a fork, so it may consume of all our machine resources in terms of CPU and RAM. So, browser acted as a virtual environment. So I really suggest you not to train a deep learning model from scratch using TensorFlow.js. Just learn from using Python or Golang or C++ because they can talk directly with the system or the machine. It's very near. But TensorFlow.js, there's a layers API and there's like a Python level. So I think that's all for me. Yes.
Okay, just show us how you get a compile model from TensorFlow back to Python.js.
Oh, that one actually.
So instead of use the train
Yeah.
model, can you show it to us?
Yeah, to show I don't do for right now, but actually the step of it is the same. I already create the API for that thing to make it easier. I showed to you how to freeze the model. When you freeze the model, you can load on the JavaScript. So this is how to freeze the model using Python. So this one train on sentiment dataset. Blah blah blah, to train, blah blah blah, and then this is the function, Python function to freeze the model, and then save into the that's the name I give, frozen model.pb. So this is the freeze model. You can see the placeholder and the layer of it. So the good thing about this the freeze model, it loads model. To load it just takes 70 milliseconds. I mean it doesn't care about the connection of the layers because it doesn't alive dynamically. It's already stated on the code on the byte file.pb. So .pb actually you can load using this function in the TensorFlow.js. This one I never tried before using. I never tried to TensorFlow.js called the .pb, but yeah, I saw the same thing. You can go play more on the how to load using a save function. I'm sorry I cannot show that to you. I don't have example because I don't use Node.js because I want to people just click or fork my repo and then just play. So no need to install a Node.js or anything. It's pure calling a CDN and then done. That's all. So any question?
How big can you put the network? How big is the network?
I train you mean the Python level?
No.
For this one for this one I mean for this for this one you mean this one just 2 layers, and the size of layer 100 only, and I can say it's able to focus really well until maybe we can put 30. So this dashboard is open source, but the data is not open source. The data is from our government. So you can check this website to understand more what happened to our export and import dataset, how much, the value of it, and then which country. You can click, can off. It depend on you. You can zoom for the word export. You can play around.
So besides extrapolation, what interesting apps have you use for it? I mean, using this.
So let's say the product correlation, I can say I want to study about the plastic and rubber. So the correlation is about say 0.89. So I can say if plastic going to increase by 1 ratio, the rubber will increase by 0.86. So that's correlation said about. So it's triggered effect. So actually the company need, if my company doing rubber, so I need to take care, I need to study more about plastic. So if we can say the plastic going to increase, so my company need to do something, so follow the trend. So it's trigger effect, but you need to understand the correlation does not causation. We just follow each other, but that doesn't mean it caused by that. So but still we need to study about it. So you can off, this is just a basic dashboard data set. So any question more? Again, this is not really I know this is not really a front end. This is more on how to deploy a mathematical model. I think that's all for me.
Alright, thank you. Yep. Yes, we found.
You're lucky, man.
Yeah.
Try. You have to power it with a USB.
Power it.
Here's your USB port.
This is usually.
Oh, is that a
Yeah,
USB?
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Does it work?
Pray it works.
Yeah.
You use this thing?
Yeah. Once. Once. It works.
Should have the mirror. Ah. Yeah. Oh, so long already.
Yeah. Try. I didn't see it power.
Yeah, I don't think this power works.
I have another cable.
Does your power work? No, you need to get you power first. Is that supposed to be a light?
I saw.
Supposedly.
Where's the light?
No. It's not. No. It's not work.
It's like no go.
Oh, I see something.
Yes. Alright, Ivan's laptop only has VGA and this sort of work. Increase the size, font.
Change the resolution.
There's no GUI, man.
Size. Bigger?
No. Can you increase your reduce the volume? How about 800 times 600? Who can help here? I can't help him, man. So
I can see on the screen, but not it's the resolution is not.
I don't remember how to scale already. I don't remember how.
how do you scale a screen? Oh, great.
Oh, but I cannot see already at the side.
You cannot see the side. Try to launch your slides. Is that good enough? but not for the demo later, right?
Guys,
It's a yellow tint. Is it still yellow?
oh, I know why. Maybe.
Alright, so Ivan is a student, second year student at APU. He's also a freelancer and he also works for APU doing some of their tech work. And he'll be speaking about, the title of the talk is basically WebAssembly using Rust and how can you integrate and use Rust to run your JavaScript. I'll let him talk more about that.
But this is the JavaScript.
Well, WebAssembly is a browser based, so
I think he stopped already.
it's okay.
He stopped.
It's
showing.
hung. This is why we don't use complicated OS. Okay, let's try pull out.
No, it should be here.
It's stuck, is it?
I think it's inside. He has to set something.
It is too small. Yeah, just